Guys, thank you so much for listening to our movie news section. We're going to get into our next segment, which is our main topic, where we're going to be doing a full-blown spoiler review for Alien Covenant. So if you guys have not seen the movie, do not listen to this. But if you have seen the movie, listen to our review. And we can all agree right now that Zach is in the minority with all this.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely in the minority.
You're the minority out of, I think, anyone in the Real Talk community who has seen
probably
the film.
Most other, because it's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, you just have a very
Again, so is Spider-Man 3 and Phantom Menace, but you know.
Wait, what?
Because I said it's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes,
3.
but I'm like, but so is Spider-Man 3 and Phantom Menace. So.
Oh my God! Oh my Jesus! Okay, so jumping into
the more I think
jumping into this review, Zach, we'll get to you in a bit.
Yeah, let's get to me last. Let's get the positive stuff first.
No. We'll go. How about we do this? How about we go? No, how about we go? Pedro, Travis, you say your opinions on it. Zach goes, and then we'll end on a positive note. And we'll go with me last.
Well,
that way we don't get.
These are all just basic thoughts, though. We'll get more in depth.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't. Okay, I thought I was like, I don't want the end of the review to just be you swearing for 15 minutes.
Just basic thoughts. Then we'll talk about everything. So we'll have Pedro go first.
Okay. I literally just saw it today, so I just with a fresh mind of seeing the movie. I liked it. I didn't love it. I wanted to love because I really liked Prometheus. And I just recently watched like the whole Alien franchise in the past like week or so, excluding 3 and Resurrection. So I went into this movie. I saw it. I saw it with my good friend David Bespiedka. And me and him can both agree it wasn't a bad movie, at least in our eyes. So yeah, I mean, listen, Michael Fassbender, that whole aspect where it was him versus David, Walter versus David. I thought that was cool for the most part. I just felt like
I wasn't expecting them to tie it into Assassin's Creed.
There were certain scenes like that like that one shot scene where they were doing the thing with the flute.
That was incredibly shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was cool. That scene was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the introduction to the movie was really good, like introducing the characters, to Walter, everything like that. Like that was spot on. I think it just really just started to fall apart a little bit for me, at least, was when they got to the actual planet. And, I don't know, the whole aspect of like how like the things got into the people's, the ears, the nose, like, I don't know, I think that was interesting, but I just felt like they could have like, because this was the whole movie of this thing was like the birth of the xenomorph, like how the xenomorphs came about. And I can definitely agree with Zach, like, because I know he's gonna bring this up. It's like we really don't need to know the origins of the xenomorphs.
Yeah,
for me,
it's just like mine.
I do agree.
But I do have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, but because I know it's gonna be like the xenomorphs, like you say, Zach. It's like it makes it so much less scary. Like not knowing certain things makes things more, like, it enhances the story and the world of it. Like not knowing something is even better than knowing the actual thing, because I would
I agree with you, Pedro, and exactly what you said just there is the reason why, and Zach's gonna kill me, is the reason that I like the original Alien more than Aliens. Boom. Because the idea of not knowing what's around you makes it scarier and makes it more interesting.
Not always,
than, holy
though.
shit, look, there's a bunch of aliens.
Have you seen Jaws?
That's not what Aliens is like, though. For the first hour of Aliens, you don't even see any.
But it's building something. All right, we need to have that as like a debate one
Alien
day.
is all build up with no payoff. Aliens is amazing.
So much payoff.
There's no payoff whatsoever.
So much payoff.
There was no payoff. You see it for under 4 minutes. Listen, this is Alien in like this. I love Alien, but this is me shitting on Alien for a second. Okay, so Alien.
No, we should really have this. I'll let you say your piece, but we really should have a debate on this one day.
Yeah.
We'll discuss which one's better.
Listen, you go into the movie, you get all this introduction, they wake up, it's cool and all that, and then they go to this planet, you get this thing on his face, it's cool, and then nothing happens. Literally nothing happens. It drags. It's just them waiting
but the
around
thing comes out of the chest and it goes, and that's a big thing that happens.
Yeah, you want to know what's better than that?
My
In Spaceballs,
God,
when it dances around the table. That's more entertaining. Now listen, and here.
Without a doubt, no.
And now listen, when like, listen, I'm not. It is a great movie. It is expertly made whatsoever. It does not hold a candle to Aliens. Aliens. The only thing that people ever say about Alien that is better, it's horror. It's so scary. Aliens is scarier than Alien.
Aliens is not scarier than Alien.
It 100% is.
It is not.
Watching Alien and Aliens as a kid. Aliens did not freak me out. Alien gave me nightmares.
Aliens is an action movie. Alien is a horror movie.
Yeah, no. There's nothing scary in Alien.
There is, though.
They're all just waiting and nothing happens, and it's all just like, oh no, where is
it?
The
best movies are the ones you don't really see the killers.
No, but it's not even the looming threat of a killer.
Right.
There's like one scene. It's like one scene when they're actually scared of where it could be.
I'm gonna moderate this now.
The entire crew.
Travis, shut up. We're gonna moderate this now. This needs to be a discussion for another date. That we have like a debate of Alien versus Aliens, because I know there's a wholehearted opinions on this. I just wanted to say that as a joke.
It's not even.
It is. Yes,
the Xenomorph isn't even the villain in Alien. Ash is the villain in Alien.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we're talking about Alien Covenant. So,
okay,
Travis, what is your basic opinions on the movie? What'd you think?
Alien Covenant. This movie was it was okay. It was
aggressively average.
I wouldn't say aggressively average. I would say it's very, very average. It's very, very mediocre. Honestly, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I just thought it was so underwhelming. Like, it was for an Alien movie, for me being so excited for an Alien movie, because I love Alien movies. I love Alien. I love Aliens. You know that Alien was on, what was it, number 2 on my top 10, I think it was.
For what, sci-fi?
Just, no, in general. It was like number 2.
Oh, it was up there,
yeah. I think it was like number 2, yeah.
But seeing another Alien movie really had me excited, and it was just it was very underwhelming. And I do agree that it really did. It made the alien not scary anymore. It totally destroyed the scary factor of the alien, which I thought was almost impossible to do. However, even with all its problems, I did enjoy it for what it was. I enjoyed Mike Fassbender's performance, and that flute scene was amazing. It was so well shot.
All the performances were good throughout, honestly.
There was no bad acting.
There's no bad performance in the entire film.
They wasted James Franco.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, why was he even in the movie?
Hilarious. Yeah, which was hilarious.
They could have gotten anybody else for that role.
I feel like he was
anything.
just so busy with his amazing movie about the room,
which apparently is amazing.
Yeah.
It always sounds like a sarcastic statement, but it's actually not.
Yeah, it actually looks fantastic.
But it's so mediocre. It's just above mediocre. It's probably more average than mediocre, in my opinion.
All right, okay. Bobby, quick thoughts here. Overall.
All right, quick thoughts overall. Honestly, just quickly, I wanted to mention that I know, Pedro, you said you found it was kind of dumb the way that the neomorphs got into the body. But it is an homage to, if you watch the opening for Prometheus, they do the same exact thing when that black mist. Yeah,
that black goo is like a genetical
it's a
DNA
thing. So
modifier.
so they did show it in the beginning of Prometheus. So it's not like it's a random thing they just sort of did for the film. It has been built up. That's very
true, yeah.
But I do understand where you're coming from, because it was...
It was slightly odd how it flew into the ear and nose.
What I was gonna say is I don't understand the need for the CGI to make it fly in when you could literally have them poking at the plant and it just goes poof in a puff of smoke.
And he just cough or something.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, and he goes back and starts rubbing his nose. Yeah. Because as the audience, we're smart enough to know, oh shit, whatever just came out of this plant isn't good.
Yeah, that's a foreign substance in the guy's
ear. Yeah, we don't need CGI metal bits flying into his ear.
But I think we're in agreement on what you're about to say next.
What I'm about to say next is the reason why I loved this movie for what it was. From the beginning of the film until the end of the flute scene, that first act and a little bit of that smidgen of the second act, I thought was absolutely incredible. I absolutely loved this first act. Just from them being on the ship to them getting on the planet. When they got on the planet, it felt like Prometheus, and it felt like Alien.
I'll agree, because it was like a ticking time bomb when they got on the planet.
Yep.
Because it's that too good to be true, you know?
Exactly, and I loved it.
And the second when they're like, yeah, these are human plants, that's where it's like, wait, you don't hear birds or anything. There's no other life form. And I'm just like, uh-oh.
Yeah, the whole time I was sitting there, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, I am into this. And when they have the scene of the neomorphs running through the fields, and they're like all in a circle.
Which was so cool because, like, this is how I explained to you, is that the xenomorph, when you see an alien or aliens, this thing is smart, okay? This thing is sophisticated. This thing's possibly smarter than humans, okay? This thing can sneak through, can get up behind you, can kill you in all sorts of different ways, and it will outsmart you. The neomorphs, they're clearly not smart. They are just brute. When you see that thing running at a beeline through the field toward all of them, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, like, these things are scary as hell. And that was one of my favorite scenes when that just the shot of when it's coming out of the guy's back in the beginning. Like, oh man, I was so into this.
What was really cool is we saw that in the trailer, and we heard that, neomorphs are like xenomorphs, so they come out of the back, but that's not the case at all. They come out of wherever they can.
Yeah,
the second one comes out of like the mouth and the throat.
Yeah, it comes out of the guy's face.
It literally comes out of any way they can find a way out of there, which is so cool.
Yeah, and it was just that whole thing when the guy gets sick and you see him in there, then spoiler alert, the ship blows up, the lander blows up and kills Danny McBride's wife, and then the smoke covers the field. And they're trapped in this circle. They're just swarming around. Just in those moments, pretty much right up until David showed up, I was on cloud nine in this movie. I loved.
There was only two of them too. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, there were only two of them, and then there were like one or two more that were running around in the field. I think because there were like two of them that were running around.
No, there were just two, and they got bigger.
Oh, you're right. They got bigger.
There were just two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I absolutely loved the first act of this film. Once they started getting into the David stuff, I started to hate this movie more and more and more, and it was draining, honestly. The way I said it to Zach when I came out, it was like, honestly, that first act of the movie to me was like an 8.5 out of 10. Like, it was so well done, and then the rest of the movie was like a 3 out of 10, and it just dragged, and it made the xenomorph kind of lame and like unimportant, and the whole David thing is, I don't know. That's just my basic thoughts on it. The first 40 minutes of this movie were worth the price of admission for me, but other than that, I couldn't care less about the second and third act, and the third and not existent second act, apparently. The way this movie was paced.
Yeah, it just felt
like Zach Lewis.
Ooh, let's hear this. He's looking at his computer. I think he has notes.
No, I'm looking at the cast list, and just to start off, I see Danny McBride's picture here. It's just that stupid smile on his face that's like looking at me like, "Ha, I gotcha." Like, I gotcha. You thought you would like this movie, didn't you, you stupid son of a bitch? Like, he's like taunting me. And so, I'm just going to come out and say it right off the bat. This movie is worse than Alien 3. Alien 3 is a better movie than this movie. And literally, there is, like Bobby said, first act of this movie, I'm on board. I really liked the beginning. Like, the opening scene with David, I was just like, oh, so this movie's just going to be about David. Like, that's, like, the end game here. And then, obviously, from the stuff on the ship, to them getting to the planet, to the neomorphs, everything up until David shows up. Yeah. And once David shows up, it was downhill. And I wouldn't even, like Bobby said, it was up until the flute scene. I disagree. I think it was right until David shows up, and then the flute scene happens, and then it like sort of has that nice little scene in there.
That's actually what I meant to say. Yeah. I just sort of let it slide because I didn't want to waste any more time talking, but that's what I meant. The moment that David shows up in that like Luke Skywalker robe in the field.
And he's out there in the rain with like his hair flowing and stuff.
Yeah, that was stupid. I didn't like that.
He's quoting Ozymandias.
That I didn't like. I literally just meant from the beginning of the movie to him showing up, I enjoyed.
And then the flute scene was also good.
The flute scene, just because of how well done it was.
Yeah, look, man, this movie, I was so disappointed. It was, the first act was, like I said, was so good. Then David shows up, and you're just getting this, I like I said in my news section, like, I really liked Prometheus, and they brought up all these interesting questions. It was so thought-provoking, and, like, I always say, like, if you go into Prometheus not expecting an alien movie, you're going to have a great time, because that's how it is. And they did this stuff where they brought up all these these questions, and then in Alien Covenant, when you think you're going to get these answers to the questions you actually want answered, they don't answer them, because they're finally going to meet these engineers, and David's like, oh, you're all dead. And it doesn't make sense, because in Prometheus, like, he's only bad because of Weyland telling him what to do.
Right.
And then once Weyland's dead, he's like, oh, here, I can help you now. And then there's this one, he's like, no, actually I'm evil, because I resent humans because I'm smarter than them, so I'm going to kill their makers. Like, it's so stupid. And, like, He kills them, and even if they would have gave no explanation, if David would have showed up and they already all would have been dead, I would have been like, oh shit. Shit.
I think that would have been more interesting because it would have brought up more questions of like what the
hell
happened.
And we've seen that
here.
in Prometheus. We saw that wall of bodies and that like sort of that black gooish state that were almost like what's the word for it? Like not ashy, but they're basically they're like stone.
Yeah,
like,
it was almost like they were almost like sealed, like a sarcophagus kind of thing.
Exactly.
How like Pompeii when they went off, they were like coated and like sealed. Like the way they died.
And we saw that in Prometheus. We saw a wall of that. We saw that hologram in Prometheus of the one engineer running and like getting shot down. You're thinking like they're fighting each other. Like what's going on? That had so many questions. If they show up to this paradise that they're going to, if it's already the shit, then it's like, all right, I need more answers. But they show up and they're all there, and he's like, nope, I killed them because I don't like you. Like, and it was just so stupid to me. They just glossed over it.
It was a dumb way to.
And when I feel like what happened was Ridley Scott made Prometheus with the intention of bringing up all these questions. I feel like because of the mixed response to the film, I feel like the studio was like, hey, we want you to do another movie, but it has to be an alien movie. Like, this has to be an alien movie. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's like, let me just add in this 30-second scene to sort of like just cancel out all those plot lines. Yeah. And that's like exactly what he did. And they give us an alien movie, and it's just not interesting to me. I mean, listen, like, I get it. Like, it's the cast first experience with any of this shit. Like, obviously these characters have not dealt with that shit before. But you don't understand, this is, the 6th movie in the main Alien franchise here? Like, to the audience... to the audience, all of these people seem so fucking stupid. And I get it, like, they haven't experienced it before, but to me, it's just, like, the audience has. So you need to have smart characters. And they were all so stupid. Like when Billy Crudup's character, who was, like I said, all the performances were good. He was very good as the captain. Well, he becomes the captain.
Yeah, after the
But, like, they enter the plot line. He's like, yeah, I'm a man of faith. And they laugh at me. Then he's, like, never brought up again.
Yeah, they bring it up one other time when they're in the city, the Paradise City. Yeah. And they're all freaking out. And what's the main girl?
Daniels. Catherine Waterston played her. Yeah,
she has a moment where she talks to him because you can see he's freaking out. And she tells him, like, we need you, like, to be strong. We need your faith right now. Like, don't feel bad that they made fun of you. We need this more than ever. And then right after that, he dies. Like, a scene later, it doesn't matter.
It was such a missed opportunity because of all the philosophical questions they brought up in Prometheus. And obviously, Elizabeth Shaw in Prometheus, her character was a character of faith as well. So you can have that really interesting dynamic.
And you can have that dynamic of how does this shatter a person.
Yeah, like, exactly. And you have that scene with Elizabeth Shaw in the first one. Like, oh, well, you're religious. Doesn't that, like, now we met our, like, creators. Doesn't that, like disprove it? She's like, well, no, who made them? That's just, like, a really interesting thing for a person of faith. And they didn't do that with his character at all. There was no payoff. And then, like, when he's looking into the egg...
You knew it was coming.
We know it's coming. And, like, honestly, like, this creepy android who was just trying to say, no, I can control this thing. Why'd you kill it? I'm mad at you for killing it. Hey, by the way, come look at this egg of some other cool stuff I have. Are you really going to sit there at the front of the egg like, oh, it's so beautiful. What's going to come out of it? Yeah. No, like every character in this was so stupid.
You're going to put a bullet in David's head and get the hell off the planet.
And listen, and like in the original Alien, obviously, like I said before, like not much happens. And then the third act, you obviously have whatever. This movie could have been saved by a good third act.
Yep.
It really could have been, but it wasn't. You have 2 xenomorphs in this movie. Both get killed inexplicably easy.
Unbelievably
easy.
Yeah. It was sort of like a slap in the face.
It was a slap in the face to the original movie with how that thing took out that entire Tom Skerritt, John Hurt, all those guys.
Yeah,
everyone except for Ripley.
It took out everyone in that ship except for Ripley.
And this, what was the xenomorph kill? 3 people total? Not even. The 2 people in the shower. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Because the other girl was killed by the neomorph.
Yeah.
It kills technically, because the face hugger kills.
The facehugger doesn't count.
No. The xenomorph kills the one guy.
Oh, when it crawls out from the ceiling.
Yeah.
So it kills them and the 2 people in the shower. That's it.
But they're both different xenomorphs. So one xenomorph kills one person, another xenomorph kills 2.
And are you telling me that Ripley wasn't even able to kill the xenomorph in the original Alien? She had to sort of escape it and then send it off into space.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that Danny McBride and this other girl are able to kill it without a scratch?
Yeah. Danny McBride can kill this thing with a crane.
Yeah.
They killed it with a crane.
They killed it with the crane, and then they killed it again with the forklift. Like, this thing is... The xenomorph was just so stupid in this, and that's not how it's supposed to be at all.
They didn't really kill it with a forklift. They, like, chained it to the forklift, and it
got like,
sucked down
yeah, it got, like,
ship.
impaled when it was like, oh, no, it's gonna jump at me. I'm gonna stand here and bait it, and then I'm gonna drive. It was just so easy to kill, and it was such a slap in the face to the original movie and also Aliens. And I don't know, it's just, it was such an unenjoyable experience to me, and the worst part was how they went into detail about the xenomorph. It literally made it not scary, and it literally puts a damper on both Alien and Aliens to me, because now I know, and it's not special when you know anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest problem overall with the entire film was this stupid thing, major spoiler to the entire movie. The fact that David is the one who made the xenomorphs, which makes no sense, because in Prometheus there's statues and murals
of xenomorphs,
of the xenomorphs, yes, like above and towering over the
and
engineers.
the things that hold that black goo are made to look like xenomorph eggs.
Yeah, exactly. And
so obviously they exist.
Yeah, so obviously the xenomorphs are already out there in this universe,
but
and
now they don't.
Like, they're like the main predator to the engineers, and they fear them, obviously, because no culture would make a mural of something else towering over them and then in fear.
But now,
if it wasn't
now that's just completely out the window, and it's like, no, the xenomorphs were created because this black goo genetically modifies DNA, and because of all this experimenting, David was finally able to get a perfect thing to create a perfect organism.
Yeah, and he creates the neomorphs, which then he alters to create the xenomorphs.
Yes.
And the facehuggers.
Yes, it's just David. And it's like, it was just the Michael Fassbender show. Once the first act ended.
Yeah, once the first act was over and David shows up, it's all about David the entire movie.
Even Daniels, she was just like she was so good in the first act, then she's just like delegated to the back seat once David shows up. Then it became David's story.
Yeah.
Alien movies are supposed to have like strong female characters. Not at all. Like this one, she was honestly not.
They like tried to give her the appearance of a strong female character, but that was just like sort of just to, all right, well, we have to have this in to have the status quo at this point for the movie. But she wasn't presented that at all. Like you see her husband die, and then she's like, wait, we shouldn't go here. Okay, fine, we'll go there. And then she does nothing to do until the end of the movie when she tricks the thing into jumping into a forklift. That's it.
And it's not even showing
no
a strong
development.
character at all.
No. It's like the illusion of it.
Yeah.
Because she's like, my husband died and I'm still able to do this. Like, there was no development whatsoever with any of the characters. Only character that I felt was developed at all was Danny McBride's character once his wife died, and he sort of had that moment.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the only character development we've seen in the entire movie.
I agree.
Yeah, other than that, it was all the David
It was just all David and Walter, and then, like, Walter/David. Like, Walter actually David.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a weirdly uncomfortable makeout scene.
Yeah, weirdly uncomfortable of Michael Fassbender kissing Michael Fassbender.
That was so unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm not, like, listen, like, if it was, like, David kissing, like, the guy of Faith, I'd be like, ooh, that's like creepy mind games. Like it wouldn't be weird, you know. But the fact that it's Michael Fassbender kissing Michael Fassbender, I was just like, that's just weird, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I remember actually because we were talking about it after the movie.
Yeah.
And the exact thing I said, it was like, hey man, if it was like Michael Fassbender and like Danny McBride just making out halfway through the movie,
whatever, man,
I'm fine with it.
You do you.
Because it's like a manipulation thing. It's weird, but like I'm totally
with
fine
Michael
with it.
Fassbender kissing like himself.
You still with us, Pedro?
No, yeah, no,
Oh, okay,
that was just like a weird cutoff right there.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
No, but
it was
Michael Fassbender kissing himself. It was just
wasn't necessary.
It was
weird.
funny because
like no one will ever love you like I do. It's such a weird scene. It's a weird moment.
it was funny because when that scene happened, I looked over at David. I'm like, is this seriously about to happen right now? Like, it's, I don't know.
It was definitely strange.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I did not enjoy this movie post the first act at all. I looked at my phone multiple times to see the time. I was waiting. I was literally waiting for something to happen. I was in my head thinking like, all right, it'll get good. The second act's just gonna drag on, then the third act is going to really step it up, and it didn't.
Yeah. But the moment of hope I had for the film was when she wakes up on the ship to the alarm saying undetected life form on board. I was sitting there, I was like, all right, here we go. This is going to be the crazy third act where it's going to be
very reminiscent of Alien.
Exactly. I would say it's going to be like Alien, where the thing is in the ship and everyone who's still around needs to band together to kill this thing.
And the xenomorph is just so stupid. They're able to trick it so easily.
Yeah, it kills 2 people in the
like,
shower.
oh, shut all the doors so it has to go in here. Cool, lock it in. All right, now let's just suck it out. It was so simple.
Yeah, exactly. And which in Alien...
They couldn't do that because they didn't know where it was.
Yeah, they didn't know where it was. You couldn't just find it.
And you can't even be like... You can't even say like, oh well, this is like made later, so now they can do the cameras and know where it is. Like
but they can't. This movie.
This
takes
was
place
before Alien. They have better technology in
honestly,
Alien.
It's like 20 years before Alien.
How the second alien gets on the ship in the first place.
No, they do. The facehugger got on the.
The facehugger got on the guy for a second, so it's assumed that it can't.
Yeah,
but you never see his body with the thing come out of him. Like you never see that happen.
When they look into the when she runs down and hears the alarm go off, she looks into the room and sees him laying there with the chest bursted open.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah,
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, you were probably looking at your phone.
You did it for 2 seconds to look at the time.
But yeah, there is a scene where she runs over the alarm and she looks in the medical bay and sees him laying on the ground dead, and you see the hole in his chest, and you see like all like sorts of like claw. He's like completely dismembered. This thing like ripped him apart.
For me, I just find it a little bit ridiculous how fast these things can grow. You know, like it goes from that little tiny thing to the big ass xenomorph that it is in like less than 5 minutes. You know, like
yeah.
I mean, granted, I mean,
in Alien it does grow pretty quick.
Yeah, it grows rather quick, but not as quick as you think.
Yeah, in Alien they have a couple of fades to show the passage of time before
exactly.
that.
Does anyone else think the Neomorph, like the full-grown Neomorph, looked stupid as shit?
Yeah, definitely. It looked like just like a regular type of alien.
Its face reminded me of like a worm.
Yeah,
because like it had the small, then it opened up.
It looked like a monster in another movie I've seen. I can't think of it.
The little ones with the spikes on their back were awesome. They were really cool, and I liked how they were designed. But when he was like standing straight up tall and like all that, I was like, this.
And the scene of David blowing on it was weird. Then it blew back. I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this?
Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say here, just to wrap things up?
Yeah.
For me, last final thoughts. I have to agree. Like I said, in the end, I still rather enjoyed it. But the biggest things that I do take away from this movie that I did not like was the fact that, you know, when David, he goes to the home planet of the engineers and just kills everybody off. That was completely unnecessary. It ruins the whole aspect of with Prometheus.
Yeah, you can literally watch Prometheus and like you don't have to watch Prometheus now.
Yeah,
because they literally just gloss over everything, and they kill Elizabeth Shaw in between movies off screen.
That's
so stupid.
That's also what made me upset. I'm like, they really like David killed her off. Like I was like fine with the whole like, oh, she died in the crash. I was like, okay, fine, that can happen.
David still slap in the face to how good the character was.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just like then they brought the whole aspect with David killing her. I was like,
Daniels.
Come on.
Now I'm thinking about it, Daniels has like the exact same arc that Elizabeth has in Prometheus, just not that good. Like her husband dies and shit.
Oh
and she has to learn how to. Like it's literally the exact same arc that Elizabeth has in Prometheus. It's just watered down.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually funny when you bring that up. Like it felt like Prometheus with that. Like I thought like what was gonna happen was like with Charlie Theron's character when they were getting back to the shuttle to get to the med bay. I thought the woman that was coming out, I thought she was gonna torch his ass or something. So
yeah, exactly.
You know, but yeah, and like what you guys said, like with Prometheus, like it makes it look like clear and point that xenomorphs have already existed. Like, because when I watched Prometheus, I'm like, okay, so xenomorphs have been probably here well for like thousands of years already. You know, so then when you watch, you know, Covenant, it's just like, also now they're just being created.
I invented them because I'm a mad scientist. Because I'm a villain.
Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah,
all right,
we're gonna
we'll just get into our scores here, and as you say a score, if you want, just say like final thought on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with
I'll go last.
Yeah. So that's my final thought.
Before we get into our final scores, though, did you guys see what it has on Rotten Tomatoes already?
Yeah, we'll get
into on the Rotten Tomatoes section.
Yeah. Okay. So that was my final thought. Was a good film in my perspective. Could have done things hell of a lot better, but overall, walking out of the theater, I enjoyed it. So for me, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
All right, 6 out of 10. That's fair.
Yeah. Travis,
you're up. Yeah.
I came out of the movie and I gave it what did I give it when I came out of the movie? What did I say? 7?
6.5, I think you said.
Okay.
Yeah, you were just under 7.
Okay. Yeah, I think I gave it I think I was at a 6.8. Like really more so. And then
gotta get so specific.
Yeah. And then the next day it went down to 6.5, and I'm definitely down to below a 6 now. I think I'm at like a 5.8 now. So I would say 5.8.
All right, so 5.8 for Travis and Bobby.
All right, so for me, it was like I said. I thought the first act, and I still believe the first act is like a solid 8.5 out of 10, or like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was definitely up there. It kept me entertained. I think that's what I said. I was entertained the entire time, but I didn't enjoy the second and third act of that entertainment. It was just sort of mind-numbingly boring, like mind-numbingly action-y, like kind of ripping into the cliches of, you know, horror movies and jump scares and stuff. So
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy that. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to judge because, like I said, I feel so strongly about the first act that kind of drags the weight of it a little bit. So I would probably say I give it like a 6.5, like a 6.5 out of 10.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
roughly.
so
Yeah,
6.5.
just for the first act alone,
Yeah.
that pretty much holds that higher. Like if the first act wasn't good, I would give this like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I heard what you
But
mean.
yeah, I'll say about 6.5 out of 10.
All right, and Zach.
All right, so look,
I'll pencil you in for 1 out of 10.
I don't like being so hard on movies, and the score I give this movie will be a lot lower than scores that I give other movies that are probably worse than this movie. But I always base movie off of my enjoyment. But I always base movies off of my enjoyment of the movie, and that holds back to the franchise. Because, look, I love Alien, I love Aliens, and I like Alien 3 more than most people do. I like Prometheus more than most people do. Mm-hmm. And this movie, it not only didn't stand on its own, but it lessened the other movies in my mind. Like, it really ruined a lot of the stuff, and I sort of have to give it, like, the Alien Resurrection or AVP treatment, where I'm just going to, in my mind, block it out and just act like it's not part of the canon. And I'm literally just going to act like... I did that with Alien 3, too. But as a movie, I don't, like, hate it. But, like, I consider, in my mind, Alien and Aliens are, like, their own thing. Now I just got to group Prometheus and Alien Covenant in that AVP universe, you know, where it's just a different type
Which
of...
sucks.
Yeah, which sucks to me. And, like, I don't want to do it. And like I said, like, I don't want... When I give this score, I don't want you to think that if I give a different movie, like, a 5, that I think it's, like, better... I grade everything for what it is, and I'm grading this as an Alien movie. And so when I went out of the theater, everyone gave their scores. I know, Bobby, you said you were initially like at like a 7. I think Adam said he was like a 7.5.
Yeah.
Travis, you said like 6.5. I said like 4. And this movie has only made me angry over time, so I'm just gonna give it a 3.5 out of 10.
Okay.
3.5 out of 10. No, I completely understand.
And
where you're going.
I didn't want to hate this movie. You know how excited I was for this movie.
Oh yeah, we were all...
I was so hyped all day with you on Friday.
we were all like freaking out before we were going.
Oh my God,
when
when
the 2 of us at work,
Yeah.
we couldn't stop talking.
The
about
opening
how-
credits, I was like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, we couldn't stop talking about this
And
movie.
so, like, it's not like I didn't give the movie a chance. I genuinely really wanted to love this movie, and I really did try to like it. And I was, even after, I didn't like the second half, but even, like, the second act, even after that, I'm like, well, let's get a good third act in here so I can give it a positive rating. But the third act, it wasn't good, and there was no payoff end to me. So, yeah, 3.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I completely understand. It's like that franchise thing, the franchise rule. That the whole rating system with that.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand what you mean. Yeah.
It's like having to be harder on a Star Wars movie because you know how good Star Wars can be. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
The highs.
Yeah, so yeah, I completely understand. All right, guys. So with our all of our reviews, ratings put together, it comes out to the average PNC Media rating to a 5.5 out of 10.
Which I think is pretty. I think that's pretty fair.
I think it's
roughly.
fair.
Yeah,
It justifies.
It's
Yeah.
what we've been saying the most. Like out of anything, it is incredibly average as a film. You know,
Yeah.
the highs don't make up for the lows, but they kind of balance out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.